What's up, guys? Welcome to the world's greatest sports betting show. I'm your host, John Heislop, joined, as always, by my friend in the red sweatshirt, the great Matt Modi. What's up, dude?
What's up, Slop? How we doing? Yeah, I love how these intros have just turned into telling people my wardrobe. Today's not a red hat day, not a green hat day, but it is a red sweatshirt. We're rocking the Philly sweatshirt. Got to give them some good vibes for tonight.
Red October. Did they win yesterday?
They didn't play. They won on Sunday, so it's 1-1.
Okay. So it's 1-1.
Correct.
All right. Yeah. No, baseball's definitely taking a back seat. I did say, though, the other day that I did watch split screen on YouTube TV, so the football game and the baseball game. So I am doing my part. But last night I was watching the Manning cast, so I didn't really get to watch baseball too because I don't know. I don't think they have that for one on multi-view, which is a travesty. And then two, I realized late in the game that I was watching the Manning cast without sound, so it really made no sense to watch the Manning cast. Like, why wouldn't I just watch the other one? But whatever, we all make mistakes.
So what were you listening to?
We were watching the show Yellow Jackets.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
My wife found. Did you see that show? Like, it's the soccer team, a plane crash, kind of like Lost, except it goes a little darker.
Yeah, it's like they crash in like Chile, right? somewhere in South America.
I don't even know where they crashed. I just know the plane definitely crashed. Multiple people died there. Coach got his leg cut off, like all kinds of wild shit. I think she got pregnant and had an abortion with like a coat hanger, or like a stick. So I was like, that show's getting a little bit like off of what I want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, cause like, but whatever. Like, if my wife wants to watch it, we're watching it. You know, that's how it kind of works. But like, yeah, I don't really have control of that TV, but I do have the laptop and I can just watch whatever I want to watch with YouTube TV. It's just on a little bit of a delay, but I don't really care about that anymore. And I don't know, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'll get the game on. If I don't really care about the volume, I'll put the game on the laptop and I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I could listen to it if I wanted to, but then it's like, I don't know, what am I doing? You know? Whatever. It's just kind of more fun to kind of maybe see if I could troll a little bit on Twitter while this is going on. So, yeah, it's more fun than watching the coat hanger abortions on television.
Yeah,
just kind of a weird thing to watch. But no, I think that the baseball games tonight, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how many there are. I thought I saw some strikeout stuff earlier. It looks like 2.
Yeah, there are 2.
Yeah, because we've got 5 pitchers listed. Okay, that's on a different day. I was like, because that doesn't make sense. That's what I was going to say is I don't know if there's 6 or what's happening, because on the screen at OddsJam, we just have 6 pitchers. But, yeah, there it is. The date for 2 of those games is 10-8, and the date for the other one is 10-9. So 2 tonight. Dodgers, Padres, no offense, it's probably the series that I'm most interested in. Although the Mets and Phillies is pretty good, but I am definitely rooting for the Mets. So sorry about that. But I just like their magic. So it's nothing against the Phillies.
You're a Grimace guy?
No, I mean, I just kind of like I like the fact that Pete Alonso finally got a hit with runners in scoring position that actually meant something. Like, I was just happy for him. Like I said, that game was over. I felt like that was a magic moment. I felt like they already had a magic moment with Lindor against the Braves. That was pretty crazy. So I don't know. I just feel like something's happening there. And they're the Mets, and they never win. They always mess shit up. Always.
Yeah. The Team of Destiny vibes is not fun when you're facing that Team of Destiny. You know, like, you don't want to be on the other side of the Team of Destiny.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. So we don't have to talk about that with you. The Dodgers Padres is very, very good as well. That is pretty good. Manny Machado throwing the ball at Dave Roberts. Kind of got blown out of proportion a little bit. Like, once you got the wide angle view of him, that was he was not trying to kill him.
No,
with that ball. He should not be arrested for attempted murder, like some of the Dodgers fans said. I was like, wow, man. I was looking all over. I was like, wait, what happened?
I mean, you would have thought that he like threw up a baseball and then hit it with a metal bat directly, the way people were talking about what he did.
Yeah, it was like, wait a minute, like, that's what it was? Like, oh my God, like, that's not even remotely close to what you guys said happened.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that the rivalries. It's a little crazy. Which it makes it fun. But then you get the people that are like the 1% of psychotics, where you're like, all right, I'm not going to be on the same side as you.
Yeah, no, it's politics. in these rivalries. It's literally politics. Like you get the whatever percentage of the blue side against the what that percentage of the red side, and it's just nonsense. And then there's everybody else in the middle being like, dude, I'm just kind of
I don't like
living.
either of you.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of here, man. Like I don't want to die. But yeah, Jurix and Profar the other night,
that was awesome.
or the other day, that was incredible. That was, if I ever rob a home run, I'm doing that.
Just like staring at the fans and laughing.
Yeah, he just stayed there. It's kind of like wasn't sure. Everybody's going nuts. Mookie's around the bases. He just turns around like, yeah, I got you, bitch.
Yeah, Mookie had no idea.
No, that is.
He thought it was
that is awesome. So, anyways, I don't think anyone wants to hear us just ramble on about baseball. Let's talk bets. Do you have anything? Like anything?
So for today, we got to go with the Jackson, obviously. I mean, like Jackson Merrill home run. I will admit the books I've caught on a little bit. It's best offered at plus, when I got it, it was best offered at plus 475.
We'll be down on the screen.
It's still plus 475. They let me bet $2 on it, which was really nice of them. And then you can also get 450 at FanDuel, there's a 550.
550 hanging around at Fanatics.
Yeah, there you go. If you want to get another $2, you could do that at Fanatics. But Jackson, like I'm guessing you haven't been as dialed in but Jackson Merrill has been annihilating the baseball. Like it's the same thing. He had a home run yesterday, or not yesterday, the last game, which was on Sunday, 383 feet, exit velocity of 103.8. In that same game, he had two other hits, exit velocity of 100.9 and 101.3. In that 2-game series against the Braves, especially in game 2, if I bet on him to hit a home run in game 2, I would be on suicide watch because he hit a triple and a double that each traveled like 390 feet each. He had 2 separate hits that traveled over 390 feet that were both of them above 100 plus miles per hour off the bat. And Walker Buehler is kind of a dinger guy against lefties. He's not terrible. He's no Taiwan Walker, but there's only one Taiwan Walker, but he's allowing a home run every like 20 at bats against lefties, which isn't terrible. Home run per 9 of 1.80 in the last 2 months against lefties. ISO rate allowed of 235. I think all slightly below average numbers. So we got to go with
I don't want to cut you off, but 10% barrel rate to lefties in the last month.
Even
over
better.
46 at bats. So that's not a great sample size, but it's good enough for me.
Yeah, and it's a Jackson, which is
when we're talking to Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. And then I also went in the other game. I went with Nimmo, and to be clear, quarter unit on each of these. I'm not putting anything more than that. It's too hard in the playoffs. But Brandon Nimmo is the other one. He was at 625 at BetMGM. They also let me bet another $2 on him, which was incredibly nice.
Nice.
Looks like still there, still 625, 560 at FanDuel is not bad. 600 at Fanatics, and because just look at every other book. We're seeing 481 at Pinnacle, 400 at BetOnline, 500 at Bovada, 450 at FanDuel, and Caesar is too scared to even offer a price. Nimmo's been good, and he's talking shit, which I always love because like these guys love to back that up. When he hit a home run in game 2 against the Phillies, he was talking shit against like asking where's Sanchez at, asking about the Phillies starting pitcher, which I don't really understand why he was doing that because Sanchez pitched pretty well and he didn't hit anything off of him. But
maybe that's why.
Maybe, but like
maybe he wants him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he should have hit something off of him earlier if he's going to talk. I mean,
that would have made more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, he's talking shit, which I like. He's talking shit to the Phillies catcher. He hit a home run again in game 2. And Nimmo's also been crushing the ball. Like that game 2 home run, 390 feet, 107.9 miles per hour off the bat. And that same game, he had a 370-foot line out. That was 104.8 miles per hour off the bat. Last time, and Aaron Nola is pitching for the Mets, pitching against the Mets for the Phillies. He's definitely a dinger guy. I know enough about Aaron Nola that stats don't mean anything. He's a dinger guy. Last time he faced the Mets, he gave up 2 home runs. One of them was Brandon Nimmo off a knuckle curve, which has been the biggest dinger issue for Aaron Nola. So Mets are back home, which I don't love their home stadium. It's a little bit, it's a pitcher's park. It's just like long outfields, but Nimmo's been good, and it's Nola against the lefty, which always favors the batter. And this series has been wild. So that like, unless the game's actually over, anybody on the Met can hit a home run at any moment in time. Like that's how things are going for the Mets. So like even if he hasn't hit one, he's up in the 9th. You're fine.
both both games has guys that have seen each other a lot, but the Mets have seen a ton of Aaron Nola.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pete Alonso has had 54 plate appearances against them. That's insane.
It's like
that's a lot.
Pitches like it's because Nola pitches a lot. Like he almost never misses time. He pitches deep into games, and then Pete Alonso has mostly been able to stay healthy for since 2019. He's been on the Mets. I think,
that's
right?
wild.
Yeah,
Nemo's seen him 64 times.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild, dude. All right, yeah. So there's that. So a lot of history there. I'd say Tatis and Ohtani for me would be, you know what I'm saying, like guys that, I mean, I don't know. It's just, for one, it's Michael King. I don't know that he's not a dinger guy. I don't know that he is one, though. He's a weird guy because he does give up home runs, but his underlying stuff really isn't like horrible. Like barrel rates, stuff like that, fly ball rates, like barrel rate on the season, 6% to lefties, which is not bad. Like it's not great, I'm sorry, but that's not something you target. But I mean, I just feel like this is just big game time. It's just big game guys, big times. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like so
could be
those two are it. I mean, Bueller obviously could give up a home run. I like the Jackson, but I can't take the Jackson after you took him, which I would second him though, because he just smashes baseballs. I mean, he really hits the shit out of the ball. So there is that, which is very good. But if you want to do hits, runs, RBIs, I think both of those dudes are in play. Who I just said, Tatis, and we'll get numbers on those. How about that? Yeah, 1.5 minus 160. So you'd have to go 2.5 at ESPN. I don't know how many books give you the option to go up, and then 1.5 for Ohtani is minus 155, which you would have to go up to 2.5. I'm never laying 155 or 160. That's insanity to me. Like I don't understand why people would do that, but if you want to, you can. Like if you have to bet at DraftKings or any book that doesn't give you the option to go up,
right?
I get why they don't, because it's why wouldn't you? Because a lot of the time, I'm not saying it happens all the time, but a lot of the times, man, the value you get for going up just one is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I pulled up the numbers because I wanted to be specific. So this was game 2 against the Braves. Here's what Jackson Merrill did: 104.7 exit velocity, 385-foot line out, 108.2 miles per hour exit velocity, 393-foot triple. This is all in the same game. 109.3 exit velocity, 374-foot double. Like if you bet him to hit a home run in that game, you're sick to your stomach. But it just means and then he hit a home run last game. So it just shows how hot he is at the plate. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, that dude is smashing the ball. I'll probably get a little piece of that just because. I mean, I would love to have like a little dinger probably going tonight, but I think hockey starts today, doesn't it?
Does it? I did not know that.
Sorry, hockey. I'm trying.
Well, I mean, we're hockey guys in February, so
yeah, it takes a little while to get going for me. Usually a couple months.
Yeah.
But I think hockey starts today. So if that does, then my plan for tonight was to hit the EV button at OddsJam, get as many hockey bets as possible, and then watch it play out as I watch all the NFL from Sunday. And then I'll watch a little bit like who's going to win the baseball games, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So you would say that watching the games helps you as a sports bettor?
Yeah. There's a myth out there that's called a myth that says that watching sports doesn't help you win money betting sports, and that is crazy false. Like that is, you couldn't say something less true. Like that. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. But well, let's go right into it. So last night, I think we'll talk about last night, what we did with the NFL game, and then we can go into the Thursday game if you've seen anything or if you have any initial thoughts. Obviously, we'll spend tomorrow on it, and Thursday you're not going to be here, so
unfortunately not.
I might do it by myself, but I'll go with actual bets. But yesterday, Obviously, Perez homered. Nice work on that. That's crazy. I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, he just hit a playoff home run bet. Like, that is very hard to do. Witt did not get home, but again, you were never trying to hit both. You were trying to hit one, which is smart. Kareem Hunt, 13 plus rush attempts, plus 188. That cashed. Do you know where that ended?
I know that it was a first half cash, right?
No, he got to 12 in the first
12,
half. So the first one, the second half got. But I mean, he was pretty much going to get there. You know where that number ended? The line? It ended minus 120 was the last time I saw it.
Oh, you mean the 13 plus rush attempts? I thought you meant how many he ended with.
It was plus 188 when I took it and sent it to Dub Club. And later on in the day, we were looking at it, and it was minus 120.
That's crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Xavier Worthy, over 2.5 rush yards, minus 110. That hit. He got 3.
Exactly 3.
Good call.
Had exactly 3.
Yep, that was exactly what we needed. Juwan Johnson, 3+ receptions, plus 175. That hit. He caught 5 balls. So we were kind of pansies for not going 4, which I did end up going 4. But for a half unit, that was plus 400. That ended up like plus 1 something too.
Yeah.
So a plus 400 move early in the morning, not early, like just in the morning, ended up plus 1 something. And then Juwan Johnson, 25 plus receiving yards, plus 180. So a few things to talk about from that. I got some guy for one on Twitter was like, because I did a same game parlay with the receptions and the receiving yards for Johnson with Kamara. I'm victory lapping it. You know how I do.
Yeah, as you do.
And dude, this guy's like, don't take both receiving yards and receptions. I've seen a lot of dum-dums lose. You got lucky this time. But I'm just like, 1, you're an idiot. 2, the reason why you wouldn't do it is because they dock you. Like sometimes at Caesars, the odds will be less.
Yeah.
Like you'll see it like plus 400 for like 40 plus receiving yards. If you put the receptions in there, it'll be plus 350 for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's one reason why you wouldn't do it. One reason why you would do it is when you need a third leg on a parlay to get you a profit boost. Okay, I could see doing it because they are so heavily correlated. That's the reason why you wouldn't do it. It's because it's that correlated that like you're adding a third leg in literally for no value whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like none. But I mean, like I said, if you needed that third leg, to get you to, I don't know, like a third leg so you could use a profit boost, then yeah, I mean, I guess that's when you would do it. So that was weird. That was a weird interaction. I was like, all right, you're good, man. And then the other one was watching sports is literally why I got Kareem Hunt plus 188. The first time I saw that number, I was like, oh, wow. Like, that's not even remotely close to like who the hell 13 plus. He's going to be the lead back tonight. Like the other guy fumbled. It was obvious that Kareem Hunt was their running back, especially once you see CEH is not going to play.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you're looking for is CEH actually back? And then it was like, yeah, I don't think he's playing. So you got to make a guess there. But even if he did play, I think it's him and Carson Steele that were going to be fighting for those, you know what I'm saying, like carries. I don't think they were going to eat into Kareem Hunt at all. So watching sports definitely helped me get to that. And I mean, at the end of the day, that was an originator bet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even get the best number. There was a better number than that before I got it. But I mean, like, you want to watch sports because you want to be able to be an originator. And what I mean by an originator is you see this at plus 188. Look on Twitter. Go search Kareem Hunt's name. There were bets that were given out by cappers or the plus EV community, 11.5 carries, minus 120. Like, seeing those.
That's crazy.
Well, that's cool because they won. And anytime someone wins, that's awesome, dude. Like, I want them to win. I'm not saying that. I'm more saying what's better, 13 plus at plus 188 or over 11.5 at minus 120.
I take the 13.5 or 13 plus.
I mean, it's 1 carry, but that's because you you know what I'm saying, were early to the party and you weren't waiting on line moves. I equate it to the originators. They're the lions of the sports betting community. They are the apex predator. They're the lions. Okay. Below them are the, I mean, I guess they're called plus EV now. They weren't called that back in the day. They were just, I don't know what they were called, board cleaners, whatever it was. But like they come in now once they see the lines move, because the books make the books move. They're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I'm getting attacked by these good accounts. And then they move, and then that triggers the EV tools, which are very good, by the way, because now you can actually anybody can just hit that button and bam, bangers just pop right up on their screen. So now they come. They're not getting a great line, but they're getting a good enough one. There's still meat on the bone when they get there. They're like the hyenas or whatever comes in after the lion. You know what I mean? Like they're not the king there, but they're eating. Do you know what I'm saying? They're getting something. And then comes just the vultures and whatever it is after that, and they get the crumbs.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the hierarchy.
No, I don't think anybody could explain that any better than you just did. The only thing that I would add is it's like the EV people, they're only getting on a line after the Lions have told the sports books that they're mispricing something. So they're just picking off. So like, let's pretend like there are 10 sports books. 9 of them probably move the line. 1 of them stale, and the EV bettors are getting that. And they're still not getting the line that like you said, the Lions.
The Lions get the best part of that meal. You know, whatever it is. Like they're getting the best part. They'll leave the rest for everybody else. I always wanted to be a lion. You know, it's like
Always Sunny. They're there for the scraps. Like they're not the number one. They're not the dentist system. They're moving in. They're the Mac. They're moving in after completion.
Yeah. I mean, which is fine, which I'll never say a bad word. That's not a insult at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm not insulting anybody. I'm saying that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the hierarchy. Like, and it'll always be like that, and it's fine.
And but I'll EV bet. Yeah. Like I said,
I'll EV bet. I don't give a shit, dude. Like I don't care. I'm a leftover guy, dude. I eat leftovers all the time. I'm going to have leftovers for lunch today. So I don't mind leftovers. I'm just saying, don't tell me that not watching sport, like that's crazy town. Like what are you talking about, dude? Like Juwan Johnson, 3+ receptions, 4+ was plus 400. You don't mean to tell me if you watched a football game and if you know what you're watching, like that they did just sit that guy down there. That's why I wasn't on his yards, because what happens against the Chiefs is if you take your receivers and run them out, those big tight ends, if you run them out into like, you know, the intermediate, I'm sorry, not intermediate, very short routes, they're going to be sitting there and they'll probably get a couple checkdowns for free. So now if you're telling me you'll give me plus 400 for one of those big dudes to catch 4 balls in a situation like that where that team should be trailing or is highly likely to be trailing, yeah, we'll do that. But if you don't watch sports, you're not going to see that. You'll have no idea that that's what's going to happen. You're going to be like, oh, well, he hasn't caught 4 balls all season. I'm like, well, you don't know what you're watching. You're looking at a box score instead of watching the game. And that's where you're going wrong. And that's what I'm saying, which is fine. Again, eat the leftovers. Enjoy them. They're good, man. Heat them up. But don't come and tell me about watching sports. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, the box score hunters that are saying, oh, he hasn't hit this all season, like whatever's lower than an ant, that's what those people are. Like, at least the ants are still getting something. Those people are like, they're the prey for the lion. Like, they're getting the opposite.
Yeah, they're actually getting eaten.
Yeah, exactly.
They're losing money, so they're getting eaten. All right, so we got to figure it out. If this was an animal community, we are trying to be the lion, which I'm not even saying I am a lion. I'm saying that's what I'm trying to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be an originator. That to me is fun. That would feel the best. You know what I mean? Will I ever reach that goal? Maybe not. Probably not. But at the same time, I'm never gonna not try to be that. Like, that's for me. It's like the board is like a Sudoku puzzle or a crossword puzzle or something. You know what I mean? I don't even look at it as like money. I look at it as, can I figure this out? Do you know what I mean? Is there something here that I can figure out and I'll watch it play out later? You know what I mean? It's just like you would do a Sudoku puzzle just to kind of keep your brain going. You know what I mean? Or a crossword puzzle in the morning or something. That's my crossword puzzle. And I try to find, is there something? Man, we fucking found Juwan yesterday. and Kareem Hunt. And that was
Hunt.
a great find because they're usually not out there like that. Like those are like, that's like the Easter egg in the Easter egg hunt that has like $100 bill in it. And you're like, holy shit, I just found that. You know what I mean? Like that was one that was like, whoa, this is not even correct.
Yeah, and that's the stand. I mean, we're like we're not going to find it every week. Sometimes we'll be the hyenas, or sometimes even an ant. But when you can find situations like this, I mean, you're getting plus 188, plus 175, plus 180. All that stuff's cashing, and yeah, I mean,
it's minus 120 later.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's wild. All right, so that's enough. That's enough showboating, victory lapping, whatever you want to call it. I'm just saying, whenever you hear somebody say watching sports does not help you in sports betting, wow, like no, that's not true.
You have to know what you're looking for.
I mean, it doesn't mean just because you watch it doesn't mean you're going to be awesome. I'll give you that.
Exactly.
Like that's not even. But if you watch and you know what you're kind of looking for, you're going to end up getting Kareem Hunt 13 plus at plus 128 instead of being Kareem Hunt over 11.5 at minus 120.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. If you like, what do you want to be? Both won. Both people ate last night. No doubt about that. And there were very smart guys that had him 100 plus. They had him 20 plus carries. And they are just drowning in money right now. So I'm not quite on that level because I'm not drowning in money.
But you made money.
I did make some. Anyways, so that leads me right into 49ers Seahawks. Bro, that could be another good one.
It could. I mean, obviously it's only Tuesday, so like I haven't done a full deep dive and everything.
Yeah, no, me neither. I'm just initial thoughts. Let's go initial thoughts. How about that?
Yeah, my first thing I wanted to look at was Kenneth Walker rushing yards, and this is really just like, I mean, this is being a box score hunter, but looking for the opposite of what the box score hunters look at. He had 15 yards on 5 carries last week. Like, there's no way that on a short week at home, the Seahawks are not going to build a game plan that is centered around how can we make sure that we don't give this guy 5 carries in this game again? You know what I mean? And like part of it was like, that was a weird game. I mean, the Giants moved the ball up and down the field against the Seahawks. They should have scored a touchdown, and then ended up being a 100-yard fumble return went the other way. So that's like, I mean, that's like 7 minutes of game clock where the Seahawks weren't on the field.
And they held the ball forever, Matt.
Yeah, forever. And
they held the ball forever. I don't know the time of possession. We'll probably get that, but
yeah,
it was ridiculous. So there's that.
Yeah, and again, I mean, no, they did, and like let's see, it was 37 minutes for the Giants, 22 minutes for the Seahawks. That's crazy. Yeah.
If you have a running back and his rushing yards over, you don't want to be the 22-minute team.
No, you don't.
You don't unless your running back is just housing everything.
Yeah.
Then, but that's pretty rare.
So yeah, I knew I wanted to be on Kenneth Walker rushing yards. To me, this isn't a situation where I'm like going to take him up to 100. I think, I looked at his over under was like 52.5, 53.5, depending on where you look. To me, that's a 60 plus for plus 115. And then you call it a day there, because the 49ers run defense, if you just look at rush yards allowed and rushing yards per carry, they're a little bit above average as a run defense, but you look a little deeper and it's like a little bit more advanced stuff, and they're a slightly below average rush defense as opposed to a slightly below average or above average. So it's like basically like 20th to 10th is kind of their range. And I think that gap, like the 10 spot gap, you can find some value there because Kenneth Walker is just an animal. I mean, he leads the NFL in explosive run percentage. Leads the NFL, second in the NFL in explosive run percentage. He's first in missed tackle percentage. And he's 11th in yards per carry, but the dudes ahead of him are not getting as much volume as Kenneth Walker. And if you look at what he did, I mean, this guy ran for 80 yards against the Lions. Nobody runs for 80 yards against the Lions. That's the equivalent of putting up 100 yards on normal defense. So if he can get 80 against the Lions, he can get 60 against the 49ers.
Okay. Kind of like that. I mean, here's where I'll push back a little bit. It's like 60 plus. I mean, what's that really going to get us?
It's plus 115.
Okay. I mean, I'll take a plus 150. I don't know. I'm looking at the 49ers side too. So that part be like, for one, I'm a Kenneth Walker guy and will be. I'm very scared of that offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks.
Ryan Grubb,
he might throw the ball every down. Like he literally could.
I mean, he is that type of guy. I mean, and this is more like a coach big thing, but I think after only giving him 5 carries last time, I just don't. I think it's gonna be an overreaction type thing where they're like, well, we can't let that
Yeah.
happen again.
Yeah. We can't get whipped like that on the time of possession. So one way to do it would be to run right into San Francisco. Yeah, no, that's definitely it. That kind of helps me because if they're successful doing that, I'll be honest with you, man. I know Ayuk went off last week. He could have went way more off, which is crazy. He had a buck 47. They couldn't cover him.
Yeah, nope.
And it was Arizona. It was what it was. But the Seahawks couldn't cover Darius Slayton in that same role. Like
And
the
no
same.
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. No, yeah. So no, he was Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
And they could not handle him. So if the 49ers want to, they could have Ayuk. There's no receptions out yet, but they could have Ayuk just do whatever he wants out there against Seattle. And they came out early and were throwing. They have no problem letting Purdy put the ball in the air and score. So there's that. The other one, I want to see receptions on this, maybe yards, but Kittle. Like, I hate going for Kittle because sometimes it's not a Kittle game.
Yeah.
But, dude, Theo Johnson in that game against Seattle, like, he was everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, he was there. Like, you could just do that to them. And I think Seattle, if I'm right, I mean, I think they have kind of given it up to the tight end. Hang on, I'll get it right now. But, yeah, Laporta had his best game against them.
Yep,
I mean, it wasn't a great game, but it was 4 for 53, which would get us home on yardage. And then they had to play the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson, so you throw that game out. That game never happened.
Was that the Jonnu Smith game, or is that a different one?
No, that was a different one. That was the Bills.
Okay.
But
okay.
Hunter Henry, when they played the Patriots, went 8 for $109 against them. So, I mean, it's there. I just think the Patriots really didn't have much else. If that makes sense, like that's probably why, like they had to go to Henry so much. So that's why I don't know that spike game is definitely going to happen. Only because you have Ayuk that can just do whatever he wants. He's fine. I'll be honest with you, man. I think something went on with that contract negotiation. Something there. He's gonna need to be kept happy. And last week, he looked like a goddamn wide receiver 1. You know what I mean? Like, he was so good. So the idea that we could go 70 plus, not quite sure what that's going to pay. I'll look at FanDuel. I don't know. Do they even have alts up? I know it's 62. It's lower there than everywhere.
Yeah, I
can have alts here. I'm getting it. Yeah, they do 70, have alts.
70 plus 116.
I mean, that's. I'd almost want to go 80 at 165, 100 at plus 325. Dude, like I said, if Slayton can run around all over the place on them like that, so could Ayuk.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're not afraid to throw the ball, obviously. Like, not even remotely close, like, to being scared of throwing the ball. So,
yeah.
And like I said, if you go back through the Seahawks, you're like, oh, well, how come all the other number 1 receivers didn't do anything to him? One was against the Broncos, Bo Nix's first game. One was against Jacoby Brissett. The next game was against Skylar Thompson. The first time they saw an actual quarterback was Goff, who went 292 on him. But it went to everywhere. J-Mo, 2 for 80. Laporta, 4 for 53. Patrick, 2 for 52. Amon-Ra St. Brown was 6 for 45. David Montgomery, 1 for 40. So all these chunk plays, I think, is what took away from, you know what I'm saying, other product. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't get a bunch of chunk plays, I think the ball is going to get filled or just siphoned to Ayuk. I just feel like that. And then to a lesser extent, the screen game with Debo, but Debo's receiving numbers are 53.5. It's a little bit too rich for my blood.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. The person that I was looking at for the 49ers was Debo, but I wanted to see rushing plus receiving.
Yeah.
Because he's like a yards after catch breaking tackles guy, and that was the biggest issue with the Seahawks against the Lions was they just couldn't tackle.
Yep.
They just a ton of guys in space. Like Dave Montgomery broke a bunch of tackles. Amon Ra did. So I want to see the rushing plus receiving for Debo. I know you're not an anytime touchdown guy. I also am looking at the anytime touchdown for Debo. It just kind of feels like he's right on the cusp of scoring. He scored in week 1. He hasn't scored since, and he did miss some time. So yeah, I didn't put as much research into the Debo one as because I just looked at Kenneth Walker right before we clicked record, so I had that kind of ready. But Debo is the one that I would say that I'm looking at on the 49ers, but rushing plus receiving.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like I said, the screen game, I don't know about Montgomery's reception. I'll have to go back and look at it. Was that on a screen?
It was either on a screen or like a dump off. It was like a short pass that Montgomery just broke a bunch of tackles and went for 40.
Because that Giants running back wasn't even the Tracy kid. It was the other kid. Had a couple screens early in that game. And it's like, dude, your screen game is fucking terrible. And if Debo gets loose on one of those, that's going to be a problem.
It's a house call, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at. Ayuk is the one that I'm definitely locking in on. I know it was he just had a good game. Off the heels of a good game. I hate doing that. But at the same time, it's like I don't know that that's going to just quit happening. I think he's going to have a better matchup. Like you send him against the Broncos, yeah, we're not taking him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just like, come on, guys.
Yeah, but and if you look at Ayuk, so he had one good game, and I'm pulling him up his stats now. He had like 4 bad games prior to that. Yeah, I mean, he, like 28 yards, 43, 48, 48, 147. It's like if he can have 4 bad games in a row, he can have 2 good games in a row as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking it has more to do with his like conditioning and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he couldn't catch the ball. He had a ton of drops too.
But like, he just looked so good. And Purdy actually looks good too. So
yeah.
The other side of this is you could probably go with Purdy.
And you can, the other side of that is you can,
as the week goes on. But I mean, like he looks good, man.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the other side of it is you can score on the 49ers. So they have to keep, like, they can't just run the clock out anymore. Like you have to actually keep up, or they have to keep up, I should say.
Yep. I agree. All right, man. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Is I'm definitely liking Ayuk immediately. I'm going to look more into it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're going to see some more lines come out. Like we're really at the mercy of the books.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. We don't even have receptions up. So I mean, we're very early in this prop game. But from a yardage standpoint, I don't think that the Seattle corner, whoever covers the top guy, I don't think he can handle Ayuk.
Whether it's Woolen or Witherspoon, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them have anything for him. And if, like I said, if Purdy wants it, he can just have it. But all right, man. That'll do it. Hopefully, we get some dinger bets tonight, man. That'll be fun to hit a couple of those. Jackson, Tatis, Ohtani. I mean, we got all the names.
That's a who's who, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there is that. But yeah. Tell the people where you're at. They can find you. You should definitely listen to Matt right now.
Yeah, appreciate that. On Twitter at Jedi Modi. Post articles for Newsweek. Post YouTube videos. It's going to be a quiet week and a half for me as I'm going to be out getting married and then on a honeymoon. So normally I'm much more active on Twitter, but if you follow me now and I'm quiet for a couple of days, that's why. But yeah, Twitter at Jedi Modi. You can find all my work there.
Awesome. As for me, I'm Slop Rules on Twitter at Slop Rules. Everything's going to be there. I mean, I'll direct you. I'm kind of use that as like the traffic cop, you know what I mean? Send you this way, that way. So everything's there. Go check me out. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to this if you're watching on YouTube and you like what you saw. We do this literally Monday through Thursday. We're trying to figure out a way to get every NFL game breakdown done, but I don't know if we'll be able to do that because I kind of need to do that very close to the game. So yeah, we'll work together to find out if there's something we could do because that would be pretty fun. But yeah, we'll be around, or I'll be around, I'm sorry, at 4 p.m. today on this channel. So again, like and subscribe. We're going to go through the tools at OddsJam and see if we can get some plus EV moves for tonight. Have a great one, guys.